All right, for this challenge solution, you were asked to basically make a scrolling item number so that when I hit the left and right arrow keys once, press, that this number will scroll 1 to 5 and similarly go down from 5 to 1 and loop back to 5, right? So it's an example like cycling through items, cycling through weapons. You've seen this in games before. Okay, so let's get started on this one. With the player create, you'll see that we've been given a variable called item and it's been set to 1. Okay, let's work on the right arrow being pressed and making this thing tick upwards. So when they press right, cycle right through the items. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you two different ways to code this one in here. Basically, I just want to say item is item plus 1. Now, of course, if I do this, there's no end. Every time I press, it's just going to keep going up and going up and going up. What I want to do is when I hit 5, 5 has to be the last number. And then when I eventually increase by 1 and get to 6, it has to actually reset and go back down to 1. So I'm just going to ask that simple question here. If item has reached 6, then the item goes back to 1. Okay, that easy. I'm going to do something very similar inside the down arrow key. So I'll leave this here for a sec. In the down arrow key, item equals item minus 1. If item has hit 0, item should be sent back up to 5. Okay, so it can go back up and scroll back down. Now let's check if this actually works. That seriously could be it for this challenge, and this may work nicely. Let's see. Arrow, 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 arrow. Look at that. Down works, up works. That's pretty good. Now, of course, you had some sounds, some graphics changing, all that stuff. We'll do that later in another challenge. It starts to look pretty good. Now, we said that you could do this slightly different way. Just want to take this one out. I'm going to comment this out. That's how you comment code out, by the way. And I'm just going to replace it. I'm going to do this instead. Here I'm trying to minus 1. I'm still going to minus 1, but I'm going to ask a question first. I'm going to say, if the item is bigger than 1, whoops. If the item variable is bigger than 1, item is item minus 1. Otherwise, well, my otherwise here basically means no, item was not bigger than 1. Okay, it was probably 1 itself. Well, if I'm at 1, then I should be doing the else. Else, item is 5. Okay, that was another option here, and just to show that that works, okay, it should work. Keeping in mind our big one here is when item is 2. 2 is bigger than 1. It drops down to 1. The next time you hit left, is 1 bigger than 1? Nope. And so it does the else, and I go back up to 5. Just to show you, right, you may have coded something differently. As long as it works, is good for a beginner. And you can see the up works, and the down works with our if and else. Okay, so maybe you did one way, maybe you did the other. Okay, either way is good. So that part's done fairly fast. Now the next part is what to draw out. We want to draw out different things depending on what they're firing and the variables. So I'm going to go to the draw object here. And you'll see here I'm drawing out just a simple variable. I'm going to change this around a little bit. I'm actually going to slide it over. I need a bit more space. And I'm going to do some if statements. I'm going to say, hey, if the item variable is 1, let's draw out. Let's draw out, I don't know, I think it was supposed to be a rock. Else, if the item is a 2, Let's start copying this out here. Let's throw an apple. Else if item is a 3. So you get the idea here. You can fast forward the video by a few seconds if you get the point. But I guess I'm going to have to code it out here. See how fast I can go. And the very last one, technically you can make it an else because you know there's no other choice. But you know what, I may as well just stick with the pattern here in case you ever decide to add some extra things to throw. I don't know, rock, apple, arrow, laser. I don't know, throw paper. And there you go. And that's your big chain of ifs asking you what to draw. Now let's see if it works. Looks good. Okay, and there you go. Rock, apple, arrow, laser. Go backwards. Go forwards. Toggle. Nice. Good work if you got that on your own. A nice, useful one, right? You've seen a lot of games. Now, I will take just 1 second here to give you a little bonus. Doing all these draw commands that look the same, it is considered a little sloppy. There's a little faster way to do it. Here's what it is. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make a little variable right in here. I'm going to call it throw. I'm just going to set to, I can set it to anything. I'll just set it to high right now. So it's storing some words, okay, not numbers. Okay, that's what the quotes. I can store a word in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change all these statements here, and I'm going to say this. Throw equals rock. Throw equals apple. You may see where this is going. Throw equals the word arrow. Throw equals the word laser. And the last one here, throw equals paper. Now that I've done all the throwing, I've set the variable throw. Now I'll do my one line of drawing. So I just draw that one line out once. Draw text. But when I get to this point, I go plus, throw. Notice I didn't have to do the word string. This is actually a type of variable called a string. It stores strings of letters. So that's basically just text. And so this will add on whatever I've set the variable to will be tagged on to item number. And you know what? I'm so confident you can run this and this will work perfectly. So that's a little tip there. We'll be covering stuff like that later and even seen better ways than this that make the code way shorter to run this kind of stuff in a couple of lessons. So stay tuned, keep watching. You know, you're going to pick up all these tricks and the coding will actually get shorter and easier and you'll get more productive. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.